Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P0712 indicates a short in the automatic transmission fluid ATF temperature sensor circuit. This error code is significant because it reflects an electrical circuit problem rather than a mechanical issue within the transmission. The ATF temperature sensor is crucial for monitoring the temperature of the transmission fluid, which helps in optimizing performance and preventing overheating. The sensor is usually located near the transmission assembly, typically identified by its wiring harness connected to the Transmission Control Module, TCM, or Powertrain Control Module, PCM. In this scenario, it's important to correctly diagnose the cause of the fault to ensure proper function of the transmission system. Before beginning any repair, gathering all relevant diagnostic information from the Honda Diagnostic System HDS is essential. The DTC P0712 refers specifically to an issue with the automatic transmission fluid ATF temperature sensor, primarily a result of a short circuit in the electrical wiring. This indicates that there is an unexpected change in the electrical signal being sent by the sensor, suggesting that instead of receiving the correct voltage readings, it might be shorting to ground. This error cannot stem from a mechanical failure within the transmission itself, making the diagnosis more straightforward. The ATF temperature sensor plays a crucial role in monitoring how hot the fluid within the transmission is, which directly affects the transmission's operational integrity. Located near the transmission, this sensor connects through a wire harness to the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, which requires accurate readings for optimal functioning of the vehicle. Misreading the ATF temperature can impact shifts and overall transmission performance. Thus, addressing this DTC promptly is critical. The possible causes for the DTC P0712 begin with an electrical short circuit, which can occur anywhere along the circuit connecting the ATF temperature sensor to the PCM. A short can cause the signal to read incorrectly, potentially grounding the signal line unintentionally. A faulty ATF temperature sensor itself can generate the same error if its internal components are damaged or malfunctioning. Additionally, there could be issues related to poor connections or terminals that could disrupt the electrical communication between the sensor and the PCM. Finally, a defective PCM could also be responsible, especially if it is unable to process the signals from the temperature sensor accurately, leading to a misreading of the ATF temperature. Identifying the exact cause is crucial for an effective repair. When the DTC P0712 is triggered, several symptoms can manifest in the vehicle's operation. One of the most notable symptoms is unusual behavior from the transmission, which may struggle to shift or experience erratic shifting patterns due to incorrect temperature readings. Drivers may also notice shift timing issues, where the transmission does not shift at the expected intervals, impacting overall drivability. In addition, there may be a risk of engine overheating, as the ATF plays a crucial role in managing the heat generated during operation. The check engine light will also typically illuminate on the dashboard, alerting the driver to the fact that there is a diagnostic trouble code that requires attention. Recognizing these symptoms and correlating them with DTC P0712 can lead to quicker diagnostics and repairs. For the first troubleshooting step for DTC P0712, start by turning the ignition switch to the on/to position without starting the engine. At this stage, it's critical to utilize the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to check the parameters related to the ATF temperature sensor. You will be checking the voltage reading from the sensor, which should be less than 0.07 volts under current conditions. If the voltage falls below this threshold, it indicates that the failure has been duplicated, allowing you to proceed to the next step. However, if the voltage does not match this threshold, it suggests an intermittent failure, indicating a potential wiring issue. In that case, carefully inspect the TATF wire connecting the ATF temperature sensor to the PCM for any signs of a short to ground. In the second troubleshooting step, you begin by turning the ignition switch to the lock 0 position. This is crucial to ensure safety before disconnecting any electrical components. Next, disconnect the shift solenoid wire harness 8-key connector, which is linked to the transmission's operational components and allows for sensor communication. After disconnecting the connector, turn the ignition switch back to the on 2 position and again check the parameters using the HDS. Monitor the voltage from the ATF temperature sensor, where you are looking for a reading again less than 0.07 volts. If you observe that the voltage is indeed less than 0.07 volts, it indicates that the sensor is functioning correctly, and you can move on to the next troubleshooting step. If not, you will need to replace the ATF temperature sensor and perform a repair verification, as this fault would require a component replacement. In the third step of troubleshooting for DTC P0712, first, ensure that the ignition switch is turned to the lock 0 position to maintain safety as you proceed. Next, jump the SCS line using the HDS, allowing you to perform electrical tests on the circuit efficiently. After setting this up, disconnect the PCM connector B49P, which connects the PCM to the ATF temperature sensor and other components. Following this, you will check for continuity between the designated test points, specifically between the shift solenoid wire harness 8P, connector number 7, and a solid body ground. This will provide insight into whether there is a short to ground. If you find continuity at this stage, it confirms there is a short in the TATF wire between the harness and the PCM, necessitating repair of that circuit. If no continuity is found, then the TATF wire itself is likely okay, and further steps may involve software updates or PCM substitutions. For the final repair verification of DTC P0712, it is vital to reconnect all connectors that have been previously disconnected during the diagnostic process. Once all connections are secure, turn the ignition switch to the on 2 position, preparing the vehicle for the final checks. Using the HDS, clear the DTC, which resets the onboard diagnostic system's error codes. After clearing the codes, start the engine with the shift lever in the park position and wait for at least 20 seconds to allow the system to stabilize. During this time, monitor the OBD status for any occurrences of DTC P0712 in the DTCs menu using the HDS. If the HDS indicates a status of passed, the troubleshooting process is complete, confirming that the issues have been resolved. If any other DTCs arise, additional diagnostics will be necessary to ensure the vehicle systems are functioning correctly. Preventive maintenance for keeping the DTC P0712 from recurring involves several proactive measures. First, carry out regular inspections of the wiring connecting the ATF temperature sensor and PCM to ensure there are no frayed wires or loose connections that could create shorts. Regularly checking transmission fluid levels is equally essential, as having the right fluid level and quality can help maintain the proper operating temperature, thereby reducing wear on the components and enhancing sensor operation. Additionally, it is critical to ensure that the PCM software is current. Outdated software can contribute to incorrect sensor readings. By keeping the software up to date and the wiring and fluid in optimal condition, you will minimize the risk of errors such as DTC P0712, ensuring better vehicle performance and longevity. In conclusion, Understanding DTC P0712 and related troubleshooting steps is essential for maintaining the Honda CRV's automatic transmission system. Regular diagnostics using HDS can help catch issues before they escalate into more significant problems. Prompt and timely repairs alleviate risks associated with incorrect temperature readings, which can affect performance and potentially lead to costly repairs. Maintenance practices, such as maintaining proper ATF levels and promptly addressing wiring issues, play a vital role in preventing DTC P0712 from reoccurring. Ultimately, staying vigilant with diagnostics, repairs, and maintenance helps ensure the longevity of the transmission system and enhances the overall driving experience. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.